Welcome back. You've carried the weight of unseen scars this far. Now, we step further into the quiet corners of your exhaustion, uncovering the ways it has shaped your very self. Every sigh, every shadow, every hidden wound has a story, and it's time to listen. Let's continue. Stay with these words until the end. And when they fade, let the music hold you. Let it be a small shelter, a reminder that you deserve not only survival, but also restoration. And if you wish to return to this shelter, subscribe. Let it be a gentle commitment to yourself, to come back, to listen, to heal in your own time. There comes a moment when exhaustion doesn't just weigh on your body, it begins to shape your story. You find yourself telling people, "I'm the quiet one," or "I don't really need much," or "I've always been like this." But the truth is, you weren't always like this. You became like this. And becoming is not the same as being. Exhaustion carves patterns into you, and the longer it stays, the deeper those patterns feel. But you must know, these grooves are not your destiny. They are simply the marks of what you've carried. Imagine water running over rock. At first, it seems harmless, a gentle stream. But years pass, and the water shapes the stone. That is what exhaustion does to the spirit. Day after day, it erodes your joy, your spontaneity, your light. And then one day, you wake up believing the erosion is your true form. But it isn't. The philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once said, "The most painful state of being is remembering the future you can never have." Exhaustion creates this exact pain. It makes you mourn lives you could have lived, loves you could have experienced, paths you could have walked, if only you weren't so tired. But listen to me carefully. Mourning is not the end. Mourning is a sign that you still care, that somewhere beneath the weight, you still long for more. And longing is proof of life. Maybe you don't remember what hope feels like. Maybe it feels foolish to even try. But hope does not need your permission to exist. It waits quietly, like a seed under frozen soil. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but it is there. Exhaustion wants you to believe there is nothing left. But seeds do not disappear simply because winter is long. Do you understand? The part of you that loves, that dreams, that creates, that part is not gone. It is resting beneath the ash, waiting for the day you no longer mistake survival for living. And so, I ask you this, softly. If exhaustion has become your personality, are you ready to let even one small piece of yourself return? Not everything at once. Not all the light in a single day. Just one spark. That spark could be as small as letting yourself cry without apology. It could be writing a thought down instead of swallowing it. It could be stepping outside for 5 minutes, not because you have to, but because you are allowed to. Tiny sparks create flame. Flame creates warmth. And warmth invites you back to yourself. You may be listening to this and thinking, "It's too late for me. I've been tired too long." But let me whisper the truth. It is never too late for life to reach back for you. Exhaustion has written many chapters in your story, but it does not get to write the final page. Stay here. Let my words remind you of what exhaustion wants you to forget. You are not your tiredness. You are the one who still longs, even in the tiredness. You are the one who still aches for meaning. You are the one who still listens, even now. And that listening is proof. You are not gone. When this ends, let the music hold you. Let it tell you, in a language beyond words, that you are allowed to rest without losing yourself. You are allowed to heal without rushing. You are allowed to begin again, even now. And if this whisper touched you, subscribe. Return here when you need a voice to remind you that your exhaustion is not your identity. It is only the shadow covering it. Sometimes exhaustion feels safer than hope. Hope demands energy. Hope asks you to try again, to open yourself to disappointment again. Exhaustion, at least, feels predictable. You know the heaviness. You know the numbness. You know how to survive it. But safety is not the same as living. Safety without freedom is just another kind of cage. And exhaustion, when it becomes your personality, convinces you that the cage is your home. Think back to the last time you felt fully alive. Not just awake, not just functioning, but alive. Maybe it was laughter that shook your chest. Maybe it was a love that made your heart feel too big for your body. Maybe it was a dream so vivid that you couldn't sleep. That aliveness is still inside you. Exhaustion hasn't killed it. It has only buried it. The poet Pablo Neruda once wrote, "You can cut all the flowers, but you cannot keep spring from coming." Exhaustion is the attempt to cut the flowers within you, but spring will not be denied forever. There is a season beyond this season. I know, it's easier to believe that exhaustion defines you than to imagine being whole again. Wholeness can feel foreign, almost frightening. What would you do if you had your strength back? What dreams would you chase? What risks would you take? Who might you lose or gain if you stepped into your full self again? Sometimes we stay in exhaustion because it feels like the safer story. But safety and truth rarely walk the same path. And the truth is, you were not born to live half asleep. Maybe you've been told you're too sensitive, or too dramatic, or too emotional. And maybe you believed them. So you buried yourself beneath silence and overwork, trying to become smaller, quieter, tougher. That burying, that pretending, that's where exhaustion began to grow roots. But sensitivity is not weakness. It is the soil where empathy grows. It is the reason you notice beauty others overlook. It is the reason words like these find you and stay with you. Exhaustion twists sensitivity into shame, but shame is a lie. Your depth is not your downfall. It is your gift. You are not exhausted because you are weak. You are exhausted because you have carried too much, for too long, mostly alone. And that story of carrying, of surviving, of pretending, is not the story you have to keep repeating. You can set some of it down. You can learn to rest without guilt. You can allow joy back in without apology. Exhaustion may have shaped your personality, but it does not define your soul. Souls are not defined by weariness. They are defined by longing. And yours still longs. That is why you are here. Let yourself take this in, not as advice, not as a demand, but as a gentle truth. The person beneath your exhaustion is still alive, and they are waiting for you to remember them. So stay with me. Stay until the end. Stay until the words fade into music. And when the music comes, let it wrap around you like a blanket, reminding you, you are allowed to be tired, but you are not required to disappear into tiredness. And if these words kept you company, subscribe. Return here whenever you forget. Let this be your reminder. Exhaustion is heavy, but it is not eternal. Exhaustion has a way of convincing you that nothing will ever change. It whispers, "This is who you are now. This is all you will ever be." And if you hear that whisper long enough, it begins to sound like truth. But here is the secret. Exhaustion is not a prophecy. It is only a season, and every season eventually turns. Think of the trees in winter. Their branches are bare, their colors gone, their strength hidden beneath the bark. From a distance, they look dead. But inside, life is preparing. The roots are still alive. The sap is still moving. Spring is already written, even if the eye cannot see it yet. You are not dead, even if you feel lifeless. You are wintering, and winter is not the end. The writer Mary Oliver once asked, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" Exhaustion wants you to believe you have no plans left, no choices left, no life left. But your life is still precious, even when it feels dim. Precious things do not lose their worth when they are buried. They only wait to be found again. Perhaps you think, "I don't recognize myself anymore." That thought alone is proof of something beautiful. You still remember who you once were. Memory is a fragile but powerful thread. It means your true self is not gone. It is only hidden beneath the weight you've been carrying. And what if, instead of fearing that exhaustion has become your personality, you began to see it as a story your soul has been telling? A story of survival, a story of endurance, a story that says, "Even when I was empty, I kept going." There is dignity in that story. There is strength in that survival. But you do not have to live in survival forever. You are not a machine. You are not meant to run until you break. You are human. You are meant to rest, to laugh, to feel, to love. Exhaustion strips these things away, but it does not erase your right to them. So if you can, let this whisper plant one small seed inside you. Exhaustion is not your final name. It is only the mask you have been wearing. And masks, even when worn for years, can be removed. Maybe you won't know who you are right away without it. Maybe you will feel strange, raw, unsteady. That is okay. That is what it feels like to begin again. Let me remind you of something simple. Your body already knows how to breathe, even when you forget. Your heart already knows how to beat, even when you feel broken. In the same way, your soul already knows how to heal, even when exhaustion tries to convince you it doesn't. Stay with me. Let the music at the end of this be more than background. Let it be a soft hand on your shoulder saying, "You are tired, but you are not lost." And if this reached you, subscribe. Return here when you need a voice to remind you. Exhaustion may have written chapters, but you still hold the pen. Exhaustion can make silence feel like safety. It convinces you that speaking up is too costly, that feeling too much is dangerous, that living fully is risky. And for a while, that silence protects you. But protection has a price. When you hide your voice, when you suppress your feelings, when you shrink yourself to fit within what the world expects, you begin to lose touch with your own soul. You begin to mistake the absence of pain for the absence of life. Yet even in silence, there are whispers. The faintest echoes of your true self, your laughter, your curiosity, your desire, still exist. Exhaustion may bury them beneath layers of weariness, but it cannot fully erase them. You might tell yourself, "I'm fine. This is just who I am." But that is exhaustion speaking, not you. It is a thief that masquerades as identity. And identity stolen is not permanent. It can be reclaimed. Think of a river blocked by stones. The water slows, it hesitates, it changes course. But it still moves. It still finds a way. And if a single stone is removed, the river can flow freely again. Your soul is that river. Exhaustion is the stones. And every small act of care, every moment of rest, every choice to reconnect with yourself removes one stone at a time. It is not instant. It is not easy. But it is possible. You have carried burdens silently for so long that you may not even remember what it feels like to be light, to laugh without effort, to feel without hesitation, to exist without apology. And yet, that possibility still waits. The poet Rainer Maria Rilke wrote, "The only journey is the one within." Your journey through exhaustion, through hidden pain, through loss of energy, is the journey back to yourself. It is the only journey that matters. Pause for a moment. Breathe. Recognize the strength it took to survive, even in exhaustion. That strength is yours, and now you can learn to carry it differently, not as a burden, but as a reminder that you endured. Exhaustion is real. It is heavy. It is sometimes unbearable, but it is not who you are. You are the life beneath it, the spark beneath the ash, the river beneath the stones. Stay with these words. Listen to them. Let the music at the end be your quiet companion. And remember, you are allowed to be tired, but you are not required to remain hidden in that tiredness forever. And if this whisper spoke to you, subscribe. Return here when you need a voice to remind you. Exhaustion may visit, but it does not reside. You are not lost. You are simply waiting for the spring. Even when exhaustion feels permanent, remember, permanence is an illusion. The seasons of your heart are ever-changing, and your spirit is resilient beyond measure. You have endured storms, heartbreaks, disappointments, and yet here you are, listening, breathing, surviving. That is proof that you are still alive, still capable, still worthy. Sometimes you may feel invisible in your tiredness. Others do not notice the weight you carry, the depth of your depletion. And the world often praises those who keep going without complaint, without pause, without acknowledgement. But recognition from others is not the measure of your value. Your value exists independently of who sees it. Consider how many small victories you've overlooked. The mornings you woke up despite feeling hollow. The conversations you navigated despite your energy drained. The moments you chose to endure instead of giving up. These are the acts that define your strength, not the exhaustion itself. You may have been told to push through, to snap out of it, or to just be happy. But healing is not linear, and the absence of energy is not the absence of worth. Every pause, every breath, every moment of stillness is a step toward reclaiming yourself. Exhaustion is deceptive. It convinces you that retreat is failure, that silence is weakness, that stillness is nothing. But stillness can be sacred. It can be the ground from which new life emerges. It can be the pause that allows you to hear your own heartbeat, your own voice, your own needs. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself, to whisper, "I am tired. I am human. I am allowed to rest." This acknowledgement is not surrender. It is reclamation. Even in the darkest nights, there is potential for light. Even in the heaviest weariness, there is capacity for hope. Your soul is waiting patiently, like a seed beneath snow, for the warmth of spring. Do not let exhaustion convince you that you have forgotten who you are. Your laughter, your curiosity, your dreams, they are dormant, not dead. They will awaken when you nurture them. So let this be a gentle reminder. Exhaustion is real, but it is temporary. Your essence is enduring. You are not defined by your tiredness. You are defined by your courage to continue, your willingness to feel, your capacity to endure and still hope. Stay with these words until the music begins. Let it wrap around you as a soft embrace, a confirmation that even in exhaustion, you are not alone. And when you leave this space, carry with you the knowledge that rest is not weakness. Silence is not defeat. and you are more than the weight you bear. And if these whispers reached you, subscribe. Return here whenever you need to remember. Exhaustion visits, but it does not reside. You are alive. You are capable. You are whole beyond measure. Now, let the final whisper reach you. Exhaustion has been your companion, yes, but not your identity. It has shaped you, challenged you, stretched the limits of what you thought you could endure. But it has not defined you. You are more than what has weighed you down. Take a deep breath and feel the weight release, even if just a little. Feel your chest expand. Feel the subtle pulse of life beneath the heaviness. This is your truth. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still capable of feeling, dreaming, and loving. Do not mistake this moment as small. Every acknowledgement of your own presence, every recognition that you are more than your exhaustion, is a revolution within you. It is a declaration that your soul cannot be reduced to weariness alone. Look inward and see the ember glowing quietly within you. It has been there all along, even under the ash, even beneath the fatigue. That ember is your spark. That spark is your essence. That spark is your right to live fully, to reclaim joy, to seek beauty, to embrace life without apology. Allow yourself to imagine, just for a moment, what it would feel like to live without exhaustion controlling the narrative. To wake up and feel curiosity instead of heaviness. To speak and be heard. To laugh freely. To choose joy as often as you choose survival. This is not a fantasy. It is a possibility. Every day you have survived is a testament to your strength. Every moment you've endured is proof of your resilience. And now, let this strength guide you, gently, toward restoration. Step by step, breath by breath. There is no rush. There is no finish line. Just presence, just life, just you, moving back toward yourself. Remember, exhaustion visits, but it does not reside. Tiredness is temporary, your essence is eternal. You are not lost, you are awakening. You are returning to yourself. So stay with these whispers. Let the music carry you, cradle you, and remind you that you are allowed to be both human and whole. Allow the quiet strength within you to rise gently. Allow yourself to be seen by your own heart again. And if these words touched you, subscribe. Return here whenever you need a reminder. Your exhaustion is only a season. Your soul is infinite. And your life is precious beyond measure.